Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we talk about all things fandom and we talk about them in a positive way, and if that's something that appeals to you, you know you've come to the right place. And this is Terrifying Tuesday, so let's talk about something terrifying. And what's our terrifying topic of the day? It is Scream 6 and the new release date and what that could mean. Is it bad? Is it good? Or does it really not make a difference? So let's jump right into that. Alright, so Scream 6 apparently got moved from March 31st to March 10th, which brings it earlier rather than later, which you should think of as a good thing, but then you're looking at it and you're going, why would they move it up earlier? Well, the sources keep saying that it is due in part to the movies that are coming out during the March 31st period of time. Namely, John Wick is coming out. The new John Wick movie is coming out around that same time. So in order not to have to compete with it, they're moving the movie up to March 10th. Well, I don't know about that, because moving it up to March 10th isn't solving a problem of it getting overshadowed by a bigger, badder movie. I mean, the new Ant-Man movie comes out around that time. 1 week before then, actually, or something. And then 1 week after that, you have the new Shazam movie on the other flip side of superhero movies coming out. And when you're dealing with horror in the middle of these superhero movies, well, wait, that might be the reason. You see, because John Wick focuses on more action-oriented stuff, and action and horror kind of attract a lot of the same audiences. If you're looking at a hardcore action movie, something like John Wick, where there's a lot of blood and guts and a lot of him beating people to death, then you're going to be excited to go and see that movie. And you might actually be excited then to go and see the Scream movie along with it. But not everyone can afford to go and see these movies within that period of time. If they're coming out on the same day or the same week, you're not going to be able to just jump in and go and see these movies back to back. Not your average movie going audience. They have to kind of spread the wealth, if you will. Not go and see a movie every week. And so movie studios know this, and they kind of change movie dates accordingly. So to sandwich this in between two superhero movies ensures that the horror movie audience can actually go and see it. The action movie audience can actually go and see this. Not to mention, there are a few movies being released during this time that are a little bit more of the type of movie that a horror fan might go and see. So, in addition to it being March 30th, its original release date, other movies that were going to premiere in April include The Pope's Exorcist, which sounds like a horror movie to me, although I haven't actually seen a trailer for this or anything. If you've heard of this movie, let me know what it's about in the comments below. And then you have Renfield, about Dracula's servant. And then you also have, coming out towards the end of April, Evil Dead Rise. So you have these horror movies coming out that could potentially be bigger budget horror movies than the Scream 6 one. So why would they try to compete with them? It's actually smarter of them to sandwich this between two superhero movies and not compete against an action blockbuster like John Wick, but to compete against two superhero movies. Now, they did something smart here. They also moved the new Dungeons & Dragons movie to basically the slot where Scream 6 was supposed to be. Where Scream 6 was supposed to be is now where they have put the new Dungeons and Dragons movie, which that's kind of a good situation too, because the people who go see John Wick might not be the same people that go and see the new Dungeons and Dragons one. So you have to kind of figure that they're looking at the majority of the audience. They're not looking at everyone in the audience, because of course you have people like me who love the John Wick series and will probably go and see that anyway. I love the Dungeons and Dragons books. I play Dungeons and Dragons, so I would love to go and see that. I love the Scream franchise. I'm definitely going and seeing that. I support the DC franchise, so I'm going to see how the new Shazam movie comes out. And then, of course, I'm going to check out Ant-Man and the Wasp, because that has always been one of the more funny Marvel movies out there. So you have some people that will, in fact, watch all of these movies together, but it's not a bad thing to move the release dates of movies to kind of fit them in with other movies so that we can possibly see them get a broader audience than they would if they had released around the same time as similar movies, or movies that they estimate a similar audience will go and see. Does that make sense? You see, that's the way it has to work. So it's not a bad thing, and it doesn't mean that they're afraid to release it during the time that John Wick's out. It doesn't mean that at all. They just want to make sure that the most people are going to see this movie. They don't want to compete with a movie that's similar, that's going to have a similar audience. And the people that are going to see John Wick, they apparently estimate to be some of the same people who would go and see the new Scream movie. And why put those two movies so close together? So they kind of do it that way to ensure that you're going to see this movie. So that's why it's not a bad thing. But if you think it's a bad thing for any reason that I'm missing or anything, I want to know what you think in the comments below. Alright, so you know what to do. Leave us a comment in the comment box, because YouTube likes it and we love hearing from each and every one of you. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so that they could be a part of the conversation as well. And then don't forget to hit that like button. It's free, it helps the channel, and we appreciate it. And then also, while you're hitting that like button, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because Miko says we need more subscribers and this little face wouldn't lie to you. And then while you're hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell as well so you don't miss a single video we do. And yes, friends, at the end of the day, we represent all fandoms. We talk about them in a positive way. And if that's something that appeals to you, you know you've come to the right place. And yes, fandom is family.